up getting saved there. I end up getting baptized there. I get out of there. I did pretty good for a couple years. I got full custody of my daughter. I got a good job. And then I fell off again, you know. So I start back using methamphetamines again. I catch another felony charge. At this point, I've got 2 felony charges. I go back to jail again. I end up having a season in life where I had started to understand and know what the truth is, right? But I was living so contrary to it, and I was still getting high, so high on methamphetamines. And I had a demonic experience, an oppression, you could say. I know it sounds weird to hear, but this is what happened. So I'm just gonna say it. For about a year, I had a very demonic point in my life where the only thing I can say was it was oppression. I had things happen to me that opened my eyes. I had things happen to me that I can't explain. I've had things happen to me that there's only one explanation, right? So during that time, I start selling methamphetamine again. Now all these things are happening to me at once. I meet my wife now. You know, we're both, you know, heavily in the streets and this kind of stuff, and I'm selling these drugs, and I'm selling a lot of them. And at this point, my daughter's living with my mom. Now I've had a second child who's a boy, and I'm not there for him. You know, I'm just you know, exploiting people, stepping on people, manipulating people, using people for my own gain and benefits. The whole time dealing with demonic things, activity in my life, and the whole time, you know, claiming Christ. It was just a twisted point in my life. So anyways, we're doing that. I end up moving to this little house, and she starts staying with me. And I get into an argument one night with these guys, and they followed me home. And so I tell them, you know, I say, hey, look, in a minute I'm gonna come back, and when I come back, you better not be in front of my house, right? So I go, and when I get back, they're gone. They're not sitting in front of my house anymore. But my pride wouldn't let it go. So I'm using fentanyl, and I'll never forget. I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Wise. He had the testimony about the 28 minutes in hell or whatever, and that's not what's so important. But I remember sitting there, and that had come across on my YouTube recommendation. So it's playing, and I'm listening to him talk, and I'm thinking, it's not that I didn't think I was saved, but it's almost like the Lord said to me, you know, I'm not playing anymore. You know, you've known what the truth is, and you're living like you don't, which is very dangerous. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've had enough. You know, we're not doing this anymore. And in that moment, that's when I made my mind up. That very moment, I'm going to go to the City Rescue Mission. It's something I had played with before, the idea of coming here. I had been in jail one time, and a guy had told me about this place, you know, and I brushed it off years later, you know, and I actually had a friend of my family who was like my cousin, you know, she was in here. And so when I had talked to her, she kind of pulled some strings and helped me get in here. And it was that day that I made my mind up to come to the mission, because I felt the Spirit say to me, that's it. And you know how, like, I had done okay in my life. A couple times here and there, like I had got sober. I had got clean, you know, for a year, you know, 2 years, maybe a month, maybe 6 months here and there, different times. But I always knew in the back of my mind that I was going to return, you know. But this time, that thing in the back of my mind, it was gone. I just knew. I don't know how to explain it. I just knew it was over. I knew it was done. And I came here, and I began to heal, and I began to rekindle my relationship with Christ, which got stronger than ever. Yeah, this place helped save my life, man.
That's an unbelievable story. You actually answered a couple of my next questions, so I'll jump. Throughout that time, you talked a lot about the things that you didn't feel like you were good at. You dropped this and that. Was there something you felt like you were good at the time? Did you anything like sports or good communication with friends?
No,
Anything you were good at?
I didn't really play any sports. I can tell you this: I have had a knack for communicating and speaking to people and stuff like that. But you know, when the Lord gives you influence, it's real easy to use that in a negative manner. You know, I believe that the Lord gives us all gifts, and we are to use them for His glory and His kingdom. And I think it's real easy for us to use them for our own personal and selfish gain. So there was things that I felt like I was good at, which I'm using now, you know, in prison ministry and different things. But basically, I just wanted to run the streets, man. I didn't care about playing sports or this or that. You know what I mean? I just wanted to live that sort of life, and that's what I did.
How did you feel about yourself? I know you said that this was the way you had to go at the time. It felt like the right way. But
Right.
deep down, did you have feelings about yourself?
Oh, I hated myself, man, because I had lied so much, I had manipulated so much, I had exploited people so much. One of the worst things in the world is, you know, addiction takes you hostage, because I knew that my relationship with my family, um, my relationship with Christ, it all hinged on me letting God do what He needed to do, and me wanting better for myself, me humbling myself low enough, and really changing where I need to change, working on what I need to work on. And it was hard, I'm not saying that. It was incredibly hard. But I just, inside of me, I just knew it had to be done, and I accepted it and settled it within myself. So.
One of the things that Stanley, who was in here last, he talked about some of the things he did, the classes he involved
Yep,
in, the
yep.
work he did around here. What were some of the things that you picked up, whether it was a class or a program you got involved with, that you enjoyed?
Oh man, I did parenting classes when I was here. Oh man, I did budget classes, life skills. I sang in the choir. Towards the end, I went through a prayer ministry training, started doing prayer ministry. Uh, Man, it was a lot of stuff, man, that was good. Man, I'm telling you, this place, I had good times here, man. I really did. I just knew I was in the right place, and singing in the choir and doing prayer ministry, and it just helped heal me so much, man. Taking these classes, even when you're in Freedom from Addiction, the class that we take here, it's like the first 4 months you're here. Man, it caused me to have to be real honest with myself, man. And and man, the classes and all that were the best part of it, looking back. You know, it was hard at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and act like it wasn't hard. It was very hard. It was very hard, but I loved it, man. I loved the classes and the things that I got involved with here.